For months they've been working up to this, since last Oaks Day. They began their campaigns by casting their eyes over the competition. Then they toiled under the cloak of darkness, cutting this way and that, always with an eye for meticulous detail. And today the boldest designers and the bravest fillies in the land meet for their day of judgment.
Racing's about glamour and about excitement and about fun.
Now there's a trainer who knows it's not just the horses who have to be well shod, or that the jockeys are the only ones wearing silks and nylons. Gai has more livery than the Windsors. But on Oaks Day, just about everyone is fashionable, and they all celebrate with gusto. They frock up in their glad rags and their frippery, and they do their darndest to fascinate.
This is a fascinator. It's designed to make us look more fascinating.
This day has grown from a spring carnival bridesmaid into a leading lady. But the Oaks is also a time-honoured test of staying power, and not everyone departs with dignity. And these craftsmen, the designers, seamstress, hatters and hosiers who've stitched and cobbled night after night, they're following a tradition that's been handed down for over a century. Fashions come and go, but Oaks Day only gets better.
Crown Oaks Day, what a glorious spring day in Melbourne. Yes, it only does get better. 46,000 10 years ago, 103,000 last year. Who knows what the limit will be today. $628,000 on a $3,000 trophy. That's what they run for, the classic fillies today. And I hope Special Harmony, when she comes into the mounting yard, the favourite, looks a little brighter than this one. But Damien Oliver is once again the centre of attention because he rides the favourite on this, the Crown Oaks Day. Hello and welcome. Well, Derby Day is a great day of racing. Cup Day is the day of the great race. Today, it's just a great day. Adam Hamilton joins me from the Herald Sun. Adam, it's not just about who's going to win the Oaks, it's about how many people are they going to get there today.
Yes, Bruce, and I think the early signs indicate to us that I really think we can give the crowd that we got on Cup Day a nudge today. Perfect conditions, just the right sort of temperature forecast. They will pack this place today.
And look, it's a terrific program as well. There's so much to look forward to on this day. Some really class horses, and they come from near and far in the other races.
And a really good mix of racing today. We start with the babies, the 2-year-olds in the Adams Platform Stakes. Race 4 will be a highlight with the Flying Filly Dilly Dally, likely favourite there. The Greys, this is a race I love, Bruce. The Greys in action in the 5th event, the Demovo Plate. The highlight of the day, the Crown Oaks. We'll talk more about that later, of course. And in the Emirates Classic, race 7, the champion sprinting mare from Sydney, Spinning Hill, will carry the hopes of favourite punters.
The scratchings today, there are a few, but the main races are no scratchings, which is a good sign. The first clear, the second, 12, 15, 17. The third, take out 17. She won yesterday at Kyneton. Race 4 clear. Race 5, take out number 9. Races 6 and 7 are both clear. In race 8, 9 and 16. And in race 9, 17, 18 and 19. It is a perfect day. We're going for 21 degrees and the current temperature is 18 and it will get to 21, which is just perfect. It was in the mid-30s last year with 103,000. The weather obviously has a big impact on the track. They watered it yesterday. To give us all the details, here's Peter Donegan.
Bruce, good morning to you. As you've already mentioned, we have an absolutely perfect day. You couldn't tailor-make a better Oaks Day than this. And as far as the track's concerned, well, situation similar. This is the best racing surface that we've had for the 3 days of the carnival. It really is quite firm underfoot. We've had really no rain since Cup Day. Penetrometer reading is 4.34 over on the inside, 4.38. Here on the outside rail, might be where they're coming later on, 4.33. The rail is out 6 metres for the entire circuit. Where else would you want to be but Flemington on Oaks Day? Track perfect, weather perfect, and the girls are looking good too.
Something for everyone. The Oaks is as old as the Melbourne Cup, run in 1861. Big day for Lee Freedman. He has the favourite, Special Harmony.
He certainly does. It's been one of the most turbulent phases of Lee Freedman's career the past week with all of the drama around Mummify. Noble Red disappointing in the Derby, but Special Harmony, according to all of the good judges, could put his Flemington Carnival back on track, and it's a warm favourite, Bruce.
At 2:30, that's the early betting. About 4 hours to go. Timberina at $4.60. Generosa is trained by Bart Cummings. He's won 7 Oaks, $8.50. Royal Mask in the market at $10. And Grandly, the best of those on the second page. Short in New South Wales, trained there at $24. Now, the first race today, 2-year-old fillies race. In fact, one of the Oaks runners, Rinky Dink, won this race last year. Quarter of an hour to the start. Flying Firebird at $4.80. Resilience, who won at Bendigo, at $5.50. Boozy, one of 2 for Tony McAvoy at $9.40. The other one is Little Chloe at $7.90. Over the page, and Lee Friedman has a couple of horses here, Piercing Eyes and Ransom Dollars, both in the market, $8.80 and $4.70. You always like to know what the bookmakers think in 2-year-old races. Well, our next guest, he's not a guest, he's always with us. He's the best informed man on the racetrack, but I don't know if he's back to winner in 2 days. Good morning, Pat.
It has been a tough couple of days. Today is the day I come good, Bruce. I can tell you right at the moment on this first, there's not a lot of business down here. It's very much sucking and see. You're getting very good value on the tote, just about every one of these runners. A couple of big Sydney punters have arrived for the first time this carnival, but they're obviously not here just yet to back Flying Firebird. Flying Firebird out just a little bit in my market. Resilience has drifted as well. Stage Crossing, Boozy, they've virtually all drifted. Little Chloe is solid here. Of the 2 Friedman runners, Piercing Eyes has drifted. Ransom Dollar has also drifted. Now, if I can give you a tip at longer odds, Tons of Fire, I'm bringing in to around about the $16 quote. So that may be a chance for our punters that like a little bit of value, but still there hasn't been a lot of money arrive in this ring for any of these youngsters.
So a little bit of money there for number 11, Tons of Fire. It is Ladies' Day. It is a big day for the ladies, and it's a good morning to Jennifer Kite.
Well, another glorious Melbourne day for Oaks Day. I think we're going to have a sensational day today. And someone who's been creating a bit of a stir in the Channel 7 marquee, Joanna Griggs, with her tipping form. You've been amazing.
It's been a good week so far, Jen. We've got plenty more coming today with the celebrity Lavazza tips. I'll be joined by a couple of special guests. You look stunning today. Who are you dressed by?
Jenny Ho today, and a Philip Rhodes hat. And yourself?
Trelise Cooper outfit and a beautiful John Cavill hat.
Okay, well, it should be great. You picked for the big race.
Oh, number 1, Special Harmony.
Okay.
It's going to be small odds, but a couple of ruffies will get up in the trifecta, hopefully.
And she knows what she's talking about, believe me. So we'll be crossing throughout the day. Lots of celebrity interviews and lots of fun and frivolity. So have a great day racing.
Forget Triple J, Double J doing great things down there in the marquee. Looking forward to catching up with Jennifer and Joanna. The selections for the first Flying Firebird for both Peter and Ken Callender. Dr. Turf goes for a Ransom Dollars. The barrier, well, Flying Firebird's drawn out wide. It's a straight track here for the 1,000 metres. Boozy Little Chloe are 9 and 3. Piercing Eyes 6, Ransom Dollars 11. They may all go to the outside. That will be something we'll find out fairly shortly. So the horses are in the mounting yard, the 2-year-old fillies, and Flying Firebird is number 1. Rosehill form looks pretty good, Adam, placed on both occasions, and I think there's been excuses on each occasion.
Yeah, very true. Most unlucky last start and has to be considered with experience on her side. We're also waiting for Jimmy Cassidy to make an impact on this carnival. It might come in our first race today.
Resilience is number 2. Craig Newitt, the jockey, had good form. He won a couple of races Cup Day. She won at Bendigo. This is a big jump up in class.
Yeah, it did get to the line quite strongly. I thought it was an encouraging run. I know today is harder, but Craig Newitt takes the ride. And for those who follow the breeding, Vasilev, the sire of Resilience, a first season sire, has created massive headlines around the world.
Tony McAvoy trained 2 winners at Kyneton yesterday. He was the Cox Plate winning trainer. So Boozy here, the stable looks to be getting back into form by Catbird. Trialled okay at Bendigo.
And really bred to have a lot of speed. A little bit hard to tell just there. The horse looks very strong, or the filly looks very strong in the hind quarters, is bred to fly, did enough at the trials to say she can be competitive.
Little Chloe's well bred. It's by Dane. She's by Dane Hill out of an America mare. She's assisted a keeper who was a Group 1 winner.
That's right. Terrific breeding behind Little Chloe, and you would expect Tony McAvoy to present this one ready to fire, and the market suggests so.
Lee Friedman's 2. Piercing Eyes is a Red Ransom filly out of a Dane Hill mare. And she's not in the yard yet, by the way, Piercing Eyes. So we'll go to the other one, Ransom Dollars, who's also by Red Ransom out of Captiva, who was a very good youngster.
Well, the breeding's right behind Ransom Dollars to be a flyer early. Hasn't been seen at the public trials, but I'm told had a jump out here at Flemington and looked every bit the early going 2-year-old.
So $4.90 there, and still no Piercing Eyes in the yard. So There she is, piercing eyes with the Freedman colours. As I said, by Red Ransom out of Wide Vision. It was a pretty good Danehill mare.
Yeah, no race form of yet for Piercing Eyes, but did run a good trial behind Alinghi at Cranbourne around about a month ago, and Alinghi is the best 2-year-old we've seen by a mile so far this season.
There they go, the fillies. They're on their way to the post for the opening event today on Crown Oaks Day, the $86,000 Adams Platform Stakes.
It's up to you to decide who should be the L'Oreal Paris face that stops the nation. Just by voting, you could be on your way to the home of L'Oreal, Paris. If you think it should be Emma, call 1902 555 221 or SMS Emma to the number on your screen. For Hayley, call 1902 555 222 or SMS Hayley. To vote for Sarah, call 1902 555 223 or SMS Sarah. For Cassie, call 1902 555 224 or SMS Cassie. Finally, to vote for Alicia, call 1902 555 225 or SMS Alicia. Call or SMS as many times as you like for your chance for that trip for two to Paris. The winner, as voted by you, will be announced on Crown Oaks Day. Who will be the L'Oreal Paris face that stops the nation? Let's go! More action!
But the hard work of the mornings are the glamour of the day, and it doesn't get much more glamorous than Crown Oaks Day at Flemington. Lee Freedman has a massive day in front of him. Adam Hamilton's already talked about the pressure he might be under. He's got 2 fillies in the first. He's with Peter Donegan.
Lee, can you start this lovely day with a winner? You've got 2 runners in the first.
Yeah, well, it's always tricky with these unraced 2-year-olds. We're very happy with both our fillies. They've done plenty of work, and I think they're horses that are going to make the grade. Not a lot between them. If there's nothing outstanding, I think they'll get into the money, yeah, for sure.
And very briefly, how's Mummify after Melbourne Cup Day when he wasn't too good?
Well, he's a lot better now. He's been on antibiotics for just on 3 days now, and he's back on his feed, so I would be hopeful that we could get him out to the paddock tomorrow.
Thanks for your time. I might see a bit of you today.
I hope so. Bit of change.
With special harmony, obviously. Damien and Lee have already won 2 Oaks as a combination, Northwood Plume and Kensington Palace, and they're going for a third today. Betting really important here, so we just run those totes through again, and Boozy at $9. So it's been solid in the market. It hasn't really come in, but it's held its ground. Courtney Cuddles, Zach Purton, by the way, riding Courtney Cuddles. That was a riding change. The young star from Queensland just sent Tane at big odds.
You mentioned Courtney's Cuddles. It raises an issue we could certainly talk about later, but I think we've got to get to the stage where we do have public barrier trials for all horses, Bruce.
Little Chloe, we noticed at $8 there. Now, I think she's pretty solid out in the ring, Pat. That's the story we're getting in here.
Shopping better on the tote than in the ring, Little Chloe. There's been a deal of money for it, although the more people I run into, the more tips I get into this race. Very hard race. At this stage, Flying Firebird will start the favourite. A short call over Resilience, Ransom Dollars, which has been easy. Both Freedman horses have been easy. But as I speak, Little Chloe has come in. So Little Chloe is the one they want late. And Tons of Fire has been solid. Come in 5 points and has stayed there.
So Tons of Fire down near the bottom. There's another one down near the bottom. David Rakavolis has 3 in the race, the only 3 horses he has today. Remember this, who you're giving some hope to?
Well, I just thought the performance at Caulfield had no luck at all in that race, and yeah, it'll be one to throw in late for the trifectas or a place bet.
Fastest 1,000 run here, 55.5, but Special did that. It's a name I won't forget.
Surely you were on her that day.
Absolutely. And but these fillies will be a little slower today. As I said, Rinky Dink won this race last year, and she goes around with, I think, some hope in the Oaks today at good odds.
An extraordinary run in the Wakeful on Saturday. I think if she can settle a little bit better than she has and maybe see a bit more of the rail than she has lately, then she has to be included in the mix. But you spoke about Special, and she was a champion sprinting mare. We'll see another champion sprinting mare later on in Spinning Hill in the Emirates Classic. That will be a real highlight, Bruce. A small field, but also down the straight.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. Greg Miles from Sky Channel has done such a great job during the carnival. Is our caller once again today, and it's over to him for the Adams Platform Stakes.
By Flying Firebird, who's got the race experience with those Rose Hill performances. Now, Tons of Fire coming up into the line now. What a beautiful day. It's 19 in Melbourne at the moment, going for 21 as the top. And I feel sure that we'll have a record here. We've had a record Oaks Day crowd for 3 years in a row. Had just over 103,000 here last year. And there's no reason why we couldn't top that mark again here today. Piercing Eyes is now coming up into the line. Brett Preble on board this Red Ransom filly for Lee Friedman. And she is now locked in. Tons of Fire standing well over near the outside. And Flying Firebird comes up to complete the line for the first on the program. Set to run. Racing now, Flying Firebird and Tons of Fire began fast over near the outside, and also beginning very quickly is Stage Crossing. As she did at Caulfield, she's spearing up towards the front runners. Just Entain was away well, and so was Resilience at the 800 metres though, and it's Just Entain nearest the inside rail, the leader. Wider out Stage Crossing, and Flying Firebird is right out in the middle of the track. They're the leading trio. Resilience just in behind the speed, close to the inside rail, followed by Our Slew, and then came Remember This being hard ridden along the inside. They're trailed then by Little Chloe, who's making a little bit of ground, and wide out then came Ransom Dollars putting in a run, and back behind them Courtney's Cuddles, and Boozy is the widest runner. Inside the 300, Resilience now produces her run. She goes after Flying Firebird. Little Chloe on the inside, and then came Ransom Dollars and Courtney's Cuddles, but it's Flying Firebird in front. After a Little Chloe the inside, Flying Firebird, Little Chloe, wide apart, Flying Firebird. Flying Firebird, I think, just beats Little Chloe. Courtney's Cuddles third, and just behind those then was Resilience, who wilted on her run, and then came Boozy. They were trailed further back by Our Slew, and then came Ransom Dollars, Piercing Eyes, and a break to Stage Crossing, who showed pace, but again weakened, and the same could be said of Just Entain. And well back in the field to finish there is Remember This towards the end. And
Good to see Jimmy Cassidy breaking through there. He's had a pretty lean spring, Jim. One of the greatest riders of all time, and she's got the verdict over Little Chloe. So Flying Firebird just getting it. Little Chloe made a real dash at her on the inside, and Courtney Cuddles into third place. So there's the photo. So it's a clear margin, as you can see. And not far away, Courtney Cuddles in third place, 58.5. Good gallop, so 1, 7 and 5. Now, the horses to watch here, Flying Firebird, who was wound up in the centre of the track. There she is, and Little Chloe just having a real run at her over the last 100 metres. But race experience, even though not down the straight, has probably helped the toppy here.
It certainly has. Very, very beneficial, those two encouraging runs up at Rose Hill for trainer Graham Rogerson. There's one there that I would certainly, well worth following. Ransom Dollars missed the start, recovered quite well for Damien Oliver, loomed as a chance 400 metres from home, but just ran out of puff. And those two-year-olds, when they have to be urged along to make up for a tardy start, they're really up against it. So be forgiving of Ransom Dollars, Bruce.
Well, Graham Rogerson, the trainer, he races horses all around the world and often has success here through the carnival, and he's done it again today. He's with Peter.
Graham Rogerson, terrific effort by that filly, because she came down the middle of the track, and sometimes the two-year-olds need the guide for the rail, so it's been a really good effort.
Yeah, she's a tough filly. She had no luck at first start, and probably should have won her first two, and we thought we'd bring her down and hopefully qualify for the slipper. And, you know, it's quite ironic. Michael Hawkes' wife now bred this horse. I bought her off her, Claire. Yeah, and I said I'll win a two-year-old race, but I think he's a very good two-year-old size, Stravinsky. I think you'll see some very good Stravinskys from our stable come out in the next month. And I backed the horse, Stravinsky, and we bought quite a few.
Will she fly fairly high in the autumn, this filly?
Yeah, she goes out now. She probably don't run again now till the end of January, come February. She's qualified for the slipper, she's got enough prize money, and she'll hopefully develop, you know.
Graham, thanks for your time. Well done.
Thanks.
Here's the winning rider now, Jimmy Cassidy with John Letts.
Yes, and I just asked Jimmy the question, Pete, who's his favourite filly here today on Oaks Day? Jimmy, who is it?
Flying Firebird, Lexi.
Jimmy, the blinkers on her today and the experience?
Yeah, it really helped. I was hoping they might have gone the outside, but they all decided to come back to the inside, so I had to come back with them, and I was always sort of 4 or 5 out, so it was a good effort.
Just watching her first run, Jim, she looked a little bit unlucky, you know, a little bit green without the blinkers.
I think we had got the blinkers on her first run, and she would have won in Sydney, mate.
She'd have been unbeaten, so she's a filly that's going to go on to the Golden Slipper and those sort of races?
Well, this race qualifies her now, and Archie Rogerson trainer. He knows what it takes to win slippers, so it's a big plus.
And Jimmy, the boys were saying earlier you've had a lean carnival, but you've still got 17 races to go, so you could even finish up the leading jockey if you have a good couple of days, couldn't you?
Never over the fat lady sings, mate.
Congratulations, Jim. All the best.
Thanks, Johnny.
Don't you love his attitude, the pumper?
Well, I think he's won everybody around with Kiwi all those years ago and then added so much to the might and power package through that horse's career. He's a character.
Jim won the Oaks 4 years in 5 in the 80s, from 86 to about 89. He won it on 4 occasions. I think he missed out 1 year. He just had a golden run. And thinking of Graham Rogerson, he trained the Oak. Was it Grand Archway?
Grand Archway for Eric Watson, the millionaire Kiwi owner.
That's right, and so Graham certainly knows what it's like to win on Oaks Day. So good start. Certainly, she was one of the favourites today, right in the market, around about 3.5 to 1. And, well, they've got Golden Slipper on their mind. Who knows? As I said, Rinky Dink won this race last year. She finds herself in the Oak. So it's the type of race that a filly can win and then go on to bigger and better things. Strong run. Little Chloe, nice run. Tony McAvoy will be pleased. His 2 ran 2nd and 4th. Boozy into 4th place. So Boozy was 4th. And in 5th place was number 2. And that was Resilience, who's had the 1 run. So 58.59, the actual time.
Which is not overly quick. It's not overly quick that time. So maybe the water they put on the track yesterday has certainly just taken the sting out of it. And that's a good sign. A nice, fair track for all concerned.
Got to respect Sydney form during the Melbourne Carnival, don't you? I mean, we saw Bulla Bulgazi last year. We've seen so many Sydney fillies do well in the Oaks. Here on the opening event, 2 runs at Rosehill. Today, down to Flemington, with Jim Cassidy on board, and home she comes, Flying Firebird. Hope you backed her in the first.
Well, as you can see, the Tui's new paparazzi teams are out in numbers today, and they're just about ready to hit the ground running as they head around the Flemington Racecourse today. Their job is very simple. They'll be covering as much ground as is humanly possible, basically just taking a fun selection of photographs. Now, the best 4 photos, as deemed by our judges, will be put up on the big screen here at Flemington later on this afternoon, and each of those will score a lazy $500 as a cash prize. To be eligible, all you have to do is have a bit of fun and make sure you've got a can of Tui's New in your hand. Now, if you are lucky enough to be snapped throughout the course of the day, make sure you log on to the Tui's New website tomorrow and you can download your photo. That's tuisnew.com.au.
Correct weight after the Adams Platform Stakes, the first event today. So weight is right. Now the dividends, Flying Firebird at $4.30 and $1.70. Little Chloe $2.50. Courtney's Cuddles $5.30. The Quinella was $24.20. The trifecta on the first $175, $761, and the exacta was $41.90. Adam Hamilton leaves us, comes back later. Simon Marshall joins us. Good morning, Simon. Great to have you on Oaks Day as well. Barrier 1 for Special Harmony today. A big edge, do you think, for Damien Oliver?
I think so. You look for Damien to move off the fence, getting out of the straight the first time. He always does that in these big races, Bruce. It gives him an option. It gives him 3 options. Then when he's off the fence, he creates a little bit of room. Ollie will get it right going out of the straight the first time. She's got the class. She's the one to beat. If I was riding, she's the one I'd like to ride. Lee Friedman, the trainer, will have left no stone unturned with her, don't get me wrong. But I thought her run in the Wayful was outstanding. I like the way Damien just looked after her early, made sure she hit the line. She needed it fitness-wise, but it can throw a bit of a wild card up, the staying test over 2,500. I'm putting Charm View in for second. Now, she raced against Kapinski, the Colts at Moonee Valley last start. I like the way, she's a stablemate of the 3rd horse that I'm putting in, Timberina. I just think she's a bit of a smoky at odds, Bruce. So Special Harmony from Charm View and Timberina for me.
Bit of value there from Simon. Value in the first if you back the winner. Here's Jim Wilson with the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the backdrop couldn't be more spectacular. The Victoria Racing Club welcomes you to fabulous Flemington on this perfect spring day for Crown Oaks Day for 2003. Race 1 on the program was the Adams Platform Stakes. Assisting in our presentation, the Chief Executive of the VRC, Mr. Dale Monteith, and the Director of Adams Platform, Mr. Adam Clark, to make the official presentation.
Thank you, Jim. Adams Platform and Media World Communications Limited are proud to be involved yet again in the Spring Racing Carnival. Adams Platform is a revolutionary compression technology that delivers video over networks. You may not know it, but you'll see it very soon, coming to a video phone near you or a set-top box in your home living room. Adam's platform is, I would compare it today to the performance of Flying Firebird, that flying performance we saw today. Adam's platform flies video over telecommunications networks like that horse performed today. I'd like to congratulate the horse and its owner, Bruce Reid, and I'd like to welcome him to the podium.
Enthusiastic sponsor, and why not here in the first on Crown Oaks Day. Longines Plate, the second race today. This is for 4 and 5-year-olds over 1800. British Ensign at $16. Benarevo, trained by Bart Cummings, $33. Have a look at Cape Kennedy. Can you believe it? $1.40. That's 5 to 2 on. And $1.70 in New South Wales and $1.80 in Unitab. Boy, everything else is going to be huge overs. Mythological, I should say. College Crest, who's got very good form. Umbula, who ran in the Derby in Adelaide. Carnegie Pops did the same thing. And look at the value everywhere here. Shinkansen, who was placed behind Cape Kennedy at Geelong, it's $33. Well, massive overs there for some of those with Cape Kennedy coming up so quickly. And May the Horse Be Fast, who gets a run, is at $23. Well, Pat, out of the ring, the first was well in the market. Is this odds on, this second one?
Well and truly, Bruce, but not quite what you're getting on the tote. I'm going to take Cape Kennedy out and gamble a little and take him out to the $1.80, although there's plenty of the big punters here to tell you that Cape Kennedy is the best bet of the carnival so far. It's certainly come up as the shortest opening price favourite of the carnival. Not too many under double figures, as you would imagine, and after that, Mythological, Umbula, and way down the bottom, one of the emergencies that has got to start, May the Horse Be Fast. Perhaps that's an omen. I certainly need to find one, I can tell you, but it's threatening to come inside the double figure odds. But right at the moment, all the money, all the interest in Cape Kennedy.
Well, it's a unanimous tip. Are you with them, Simon? Dr. Turf, Peter and Ken all going for Cape Kennedy?
Yeah, we'll dominate the race, Bruce. Get out there and lead, dominate the race. We'll run a strong 1800. Like the way its preparation's gone through the provincials, it's ready for a kill today, so...
Danny Nikolic to ride, comes from a middle barrier, so you'd expect it will jump straight to the front and be the one to beat. But at the moment, very skinny odds, Cape Kennedy, probably the shortest price favourite we've had here for the carnival. Speaking of the carnival, boy, what fun it's been over the 3 days and so many familiar faces.
Do that again, leaning over.
Could you please stop letting Collingwood in grand finals?
Oh, I think you should be happy Collingwood keep getting there, Peter.
One of the world's most talented actors, Sam Neill. Welcome.
Sort of introduction I like. Thank you. What are you drinking, mate? Because you've shot up a bit lately.
Yeah, shot up. I've actually had to stand on a bit here to try and get taller than you.
Are you a hardened punter?
No, I'm just a very social horse follower and looking forward to having a good time.
Today